Okay, we are diving deep, and I mean deep, into Avowed today.
Oh yeah, Avowed.
I am so excited for this game, and I know you are too. We have been combing through previews, interviews, all that good stuff.
Deep cuts, deep lore. We got it.
And we are going to break it all down for you. First things first, mark your calendars.
Big day.
February 18th, 2025, that is when this RPG drops.
I am ready.
And for those who may not know, Avowed is taking us right back to Obsidian's world of Pillars of Eternity. But hold on, this time it's in first person.
That's right, completely new perspective.
And we are not just revisiting the same old spots. This time we are going to a whole new region called, wait for it, the Living Lands.
The Living Lands, I love it already.
So before we go any further, I have to ask, what are your first impressions of Obsidian taking this leap? I mean, they are known for these incredible narrative-heavy RPGs like Fallout, New Vegas.
Oh, I love New Vegas.
Such a classic. And of course, we can't forget The Outer Worlds.
Also a banger.
Both games had their own unique style, but with those deep storylines, the choices that really matter. So how do you think that translates to Avowed?
I think it's a natural progression for Obsidian. They excel at creating immersive worlds with rich lore, and from what I've seen, Avowed is doubling down with that.
Doubling down, for sure. Now let's talk about these Living Lands for a second. What we know is that they're this region within the larger Pillars world of Eora.
That's right, same world, new area.
And it's not a completely open world.
Right.
It's more like they've created these big zones to explore, but they're emphasizing depth over just sheer size.
I like that.
Quality over quantity.
Yes.
A bit like what Skyrim did, but I'm guessing even more focused on the story.
Well, yeah, that's Obsidian's bread and butter.
Exactly. And speaking of story, we've got to address the elephant in the room, or should I say the plague in the land.
Oh, here it comes.
The Dream Scourge. From what we've gathered, it's this mysterious plague that is just wreaking havoc. But, knowing Obsidian.
There have to be more to it.
Oh, absolutely. There's always a twist, right?
Always a twist. So you tell me this dream scourge, this plague, it's not just some random disease.
I highly doubt it. Obsidian loves moral complexity. So I think it's safe to say that this Dream Scourge is going to be more than just a biological threat.
So what are we, the players, doing about it?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. We step into the role of an envoy sent to investigate the Scourge. But here's the kicker. We're a godlike.
Whoa, okay, a godlike.
It's not just a fancy title, it's deeply tied to the lore. We're talking about characters with unique backgrounds, appearances, and powers that could potentially connect to the gods of Eora.
Hold on, connection to the gods.
Yeah, you heard that right.
So does that mean our abilities as a godlike are going to be divine in nature, granted by specific gods?
That's a great question, and honestly, I think that's what Obsidian wants us to wonder. They haven't given us all the answers yet, which is kind of their style, right?
The mystery keeps us hooked.
Totally. But think about it, if our powers do come from the gods, then what happens when those gods have their own agendas?
Ooh, that's a good point.
What if our choices, how we use our powers, affect our standing with these gods?
Okay, yeah. And knowing Obsidian, there will be consequences for sure.
Major consequences. And maybe, just maybe, that ties into how we tackle this Dream Scourge.
Okay, now this is getting really interesting, but let's talk a little bit about the actual gameplay. What have we seen?
Oh, the combat.
Yes.
From the previews, it looks like we've got options, people, melee weapons, firearms, and of course magic. And they've really emphasized dual wielding. You can be swinging spells with one hand and swinging an axe with the other.
I'm here for it.
What about you? What kind of play style are you leaning towards?
I think I'm going to go full magic user this time. How about you?
I'm thinking a sneaky rogue with a knack for illusions. The possibilities seem endless with all the different combinations, and I've heard they really nailed the feel of the combat. It's supposed to be super fluid, responsive.
Oh, I love a good responsive combat system.
Me too. And of course, no Obsidian game would be complete without a companions.
The best part.
From what they've shown us, each companion has their own personality, their own quests, and I'm betting they're going to add a lot of emotional depth to the story.
I hope so. It wouldn't be an Obsidian game without those complex relationships and the tough choices that come with them. Will we have to choose between our companions, betray one to save another?
Oh, for sure. I can already imagine those agonizing decisions. I can't wait to see how their individual stories unfold and how they react to our actions. It's those little details that really elevate an RPG.
Absolutely. I am also really curious about how the world itself looks. Avowed is being developed on Unreal Engine 5.
And let me tell you, it is gorgeous. From the trailers and gameplay we've seen, the environments are stunning. We're talking lush forests, arid deserts. It's going to be a visual feast.
Visuals are important, but they can be taxing.
Oh yeah.
Performance is key, especially for a game this ambitious and detailed. So I'm curious to see how well it runs, especially on different platforms.
You know, that's a good point. Optimization is going to be crucial, but fingers crossed they nail it. And speaking of accessibility, let's talk about the big one. Avowed is coming to Xbox Game Pass on day one.
Game Pass, this is huge for gamers. It really opens up the world of RPGs to so many more people.
I totally agree. It removes that financial barrier for people who want to try out new games, especially ones like Avowed that look this ambitious and exciting.
Definitely.
So as we wrap things up, I gotta ask, what are you most hyped for in Avowed? What kind of godlike are you going to create? How will you face this dream scourge?
So many possibilities. I'm honestly most excited to see how the Pillars lore is expanded upon in this new region, and I'm definitely creating a magic-wielding, godlike, ready to unravel the mysteries of this dream scourge head-on.
I'm right there with you. I can't wait to create my character, explore the world, and get lost in the story. February 18th, 2025 cannot come soon enough.
I know, it's going to be epic.
It is. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us on this Avowed Deep Dive.
It's been fun.
Don't forget to mark those calendars for February 18th, 2025. We'll see you in the living lands.
See you there, AAOC.